Did you hear what the judge said to the dentist? What did the judge say to the dentist? Do you swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth? Videotaping the outside of our home for the will. This is 21 Greenwich Avenue, White Plains, New York, 10602. Today is a perfect and wondrous October the 24th, 1997, Friday. That's across the street, and this is looking south on Greenwich toward Mamaroneck and Larchmont. There's the wonderful Lincoln, and there's Ginny Cat. I put my book and my jar of food and the camcorder's t-shirt down. This is Rutherford and Greenwich. This is Building B. This is Building A. These are our apartment windows here. The farthest one to your right is living room windows facing west. Next is the dining room window, and next is the kitchen area. The locker is through this door. Go straight downstairs to the basement, make a left, make another left, and you will find the locker. And that's about 8 feet square. These are the woods. It's about 3 acres. It's about 20 lots. We have been fortunate enough to enjoy these woods all the time we've been here. Isn't it beautiful? Now I will walk you around to the field where I sit quite often with Oscar Bryan, trying to persuade him to be a home cat. He cannot make it outdoors this winter. And this is very often where I sit with him and pet him while he eats. That is our south living room window. The next one is our south bedroom window. You are now looking east. The sun rises over there, and this is Building D. And over there is Building C. The buildings are almost identical. Each one has 4 apartments. Unfortunately, Madman Vito, in collusion with Madman Porzio, stripped us of these beautiful shrubberies that we had that came up and protected our northeast bedroom. That is our northeast bedroom windows. That is the bathroom window, and this is the window for the southeast bedroom. Mr. Porzio and Madman Vito also stripped Building B of its shrubbery that used to go all the way from that door to the corner. Likewise, here, this building had shrubbery, and it's gone. Another view of the great woods, and it would be nice if Oscar Bryan would come into view. Oscar Bryan, this is his dining room. Now, he will eat over there with me sitting at the rock wall, but he tries to lure us into his dining room, which is right there. That's where he likes to eat. And this is the back end of the great and wonderful 1980 Lincoln, which is 240,000 miles. Again, today is October 24, 1997, Anno Domini, Friday. Fade out. Hello. This is October the 25th, 1997, Saturday, Anno Domini, and we're waiting for two people from the probation department who asked to see our home. What's that all about? And this is of two people. This is our consolation for being beat up by Bruiser Ken. 6 bruises and Franklin socked in the jaw. Okay. What happened with traffic?
Hello, this is my partner,
Marianne Betts.
Nice to meet you, Marianne. That's B-E-B-E. Come in, folks.
how are you
What can I
today?
do for you? You know, I never saw you standing up. I didn't know you were
That tall?
Hi, Mr. Ted.
Oh, this is
See you.
my husband, Marianne Betts.
Mr. Buell?
Hello. It's M-A-R-Y, I think, 2 words, A-N-N, B-E-T-T-S. What happened, traffic?
We got off the wrong exit, actually.
Oh, how could you do that? I gave you such good directions.
Yes.
Let me take your coat.
No, it's okay.
It's very hot in here.
We're just here for a minute, and then we'll leave.
Okay. Well, how
Sit
many-
down.
Well, I don't even know what the purpose of the visit is.
We'll just to look around. It's,
Well, for what reason? Home confinement?
you know,
Are you thinking in case the judge wants home confinement?
just in case, you know, you're living lack of luxury.
Oh, yeah.
Or you really live here. The address exists.
Luxury, yeah.
The address
Well,
exists.
I'd love to have you show around. Take a first look at the kitchen.
Okay.
But won't you,
Little eating kitchen.
won't you, you sure you won't, that's Ginny. Then, did you like to see what's in the drawers and stuff?
No.
Because this is all, this is baseball books.
Oh, okay.
You're talking to an incorrigible baseball fan in here.
Oh, you have a favorite team, Mr. Buell?
Not really. I'm
all
interested in
baseball
all
books.
of them. For a long time, I lived and died with the Pirates.
Oh,
Marianne, I
Living
want to
in
show
New
you your
England.
award
That
that you
came
got.
about in an interesting way in
Franklin and
1925
Glendora Buell.
when I was 6 years
Here,
old.
hold it.
Getting interested in baseball, and my older brother
The
taught me
fellow
how to
seekers
box
of
the
justice,
ball.
this May.
The Pirates won the World Series that
Isn't
year.
that nice?
It
So I
is.
suppose that appealed to my
Oh, it was nice. It meant a lot to us.
oh, okay.
Wow.
and for
What is
20
this
years
group,
or
the
more,
fellow
I-
seekers?
Oh, they're people who stand up for civil rights.
But,
There's 1395 New York Avenue. Call me at 516-425-0304. This is October 28th, 1997. Tuesday. And the time is 9:47 p.m. and there's a 1980 Lincoln with 240,000 miles, and there's Franklin. Okay, now. Pie that Glendora made for Franklin in honor of his being a veteran, November the 11th, 1997. It's a graham cracker cream pie, and you have to make the graham cracker crust, and then you have to make a custard, and I didn't use a box custard, it was from scratch, and it's Nettie's recipe, and you have to make the meringue topping, and then put graham cracker crumbs over it. And on November 13th, Veterans Day week, and over here is Ginny Cat, and the time is 7:30 a.m. and I was trying to get Penny Cat, and she just went out the window. I've got to videotape Oscar Cat. This is how we edit at Cablevision Hicksville. Right there is the Chiron. That's the Chiron monitor. And there's the Chiron itself, the VP2, and it's a beautiful Chiron. And the advantage of it is that you have your own disk, and you come in every week and you don't have to set up the graphics. You can use them from week to week, and there's the Chiron keyboard. Underneath the Chiron monitor is the audio mixer, channels 1, 2, 3, and that's a Sony 3/4 inch player. and here's the editing board. And over here is the monitor for the recorder and the Sony recorder. Actually, this is a recorder too. Underneath is the spider, and I come in, and it's as simple as this. All I have to do is hook my junction box up to this for a video. Oh, excuse me, that was the audio. And this plugs into my little cassette player, audio cassette player, and then here is the video. And I just have to plug that in, and I am ready to go. And that signal loops through here, down to here, and over to there. Then I put my VHS up on top of here, this monitor, and simultaneously, while I make a 3/4 inch here, I make a VHS there. That's the 3/4 inch system. This is that Hicksville Cablevision. Now over here is a 1/2 inch system, and that's right side by side. You see how convenient that is? And there's the character generator for the VHS system, Panasonic, and there is the edit controller. And that's the monitor for the player, and that's the monitor for the recorder. And you can get all kinds of special effects off of this control panel. All kinds of special effects. It's really neat. And the character generator is excellent. And then you can have color bars generated from here and tone, and then you can have all kinds of colors from that toggle switch. Over here, right next door to it, see how easy this is? This is the VHS 1/2 inch Super VHS. That is the recorder down there. That's the player up there. And right above it, you see the 3/4 inch player, so that you can go from 3/4 inch to VHS just as soon as you're finished one tape, one program, or you can go from VHS to 3/4 inch. These are the monitors for the VHS and for the 3/4 inch, and that's the oscilloscope. And that's the AB switch right there. And then the rest of this room is Franklin, of course, reading the New York Times. And that's the extent of the room. And it's all very convenient. And notice what the editing hours are for public access. Public access edit room hours, 8:30 a.m. to 12 midnight. And of course, this is 7 days a week. Here's another sign. Fade out. Today is December the 2nd, 1997, Anno Domini, Tuesday. Time is 9:30 a.m.
Indicates locking up men on felony offenses for his inability to pay such an increase. These particular bills were passed with the cloak of dignity I'm talking about in the middle of the night, devastating to the financial ability of young men that are coming in right now. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that men should not support their children, because I have no patience in my life for that either. Yes, they should support their children, but let's go over the facts. You've taken away their driver's license. You've taken away their business licenses. You're now incarcerating them for the same offense, and now you're going to proceed even further to put them on felonies and take away their rights to vote. I don't see the logic in this. If you want to make some changes, okay, let's make some changes. Go inside the courtroom and talk to some of these people that are being devastated by it. You have a place called EAC, it's an Educational Assistance Center, set up by the state of New York in their infinite wisdom once again. They take a father who was accused, possibly falsely, in most cases, yes, falsely accused.
You don't. I'm Carl Lancesera, I'm the founder of Americans for Legal Reform. We're an organization here on Long Island, and we network with about 160 groups throughout the country. We've been functioning for about 7 years now. Our premise is that lawyers control all three branches of government, in violation of the Constitution and the Federalist Papers. They have one axe to grind. They have made laws for the past years to protect themselves and to propagate themselves. Here today you have many of your members all have access to grind and are proceeding on that course. 80% of the problem, 100% of the problem is finding out what the solution is, what the problem is, excuse me, 100% of the solution is finding out what the problem is. And no one seems to want to address the problem. The United States can't afford his legal bill. Who can afford lawyers? No one can. Let's raise the prices more. How about substituting for paralegal? Your assumption is that lawyers are experts because they graduated. You know more amateurs that are more professional than your professionals. You want more paralegals to be able to assist. It's not brain surgery. Anyone can do most of the thing. Yes, there are criminal cases that are complicated. Yes, there are cases where you need lawyers. The paralegals can do many things that can be done at 1/3 the cost. Instead, you harass them. The Constitution of the United States says counsel of choice, but somewhere along the way, you folks have decided counsel means attorneys. So you kick all the attorneys out of the courtroom. Every judge that says, "Where is your lawyer?" should be dismissed for violating the Constitution immediately. Someone said that 89% of the attorneys in this country are either incompetent or crooked. So where do the judges come from? They're attorneys. Many of them are attorneys that couldn't make it as a living as a judge. I know you're sitting back and you're saying, what is this jerk saying? Your attitude right now shows you don't really care what the solution is. But that's okay. To merge the courts is only one portion of it. If you ever read the Post, they did a study on many judges in New York City. They were either drunk, incompetent, senile, and we can name judges here on Long Island that are alcoholics. Why don't you have a breathalyzer once in a while and see what's going on in the courtroom? They don't come to work, they're late, they leave early. But what do I know? I'm just a lonely person. How about kiosks in the courtroom, in the courthouse? They do it in some parts of the country. They do it in Arizona. You could push a button and you can get a motion and be able to do it yourself instead of being denied justice. Clerks do the same thing. Many of the clerks are trained to kick you out if you don't have one piece of paper that's correct. In federal court, they have pro se clerks. You can do, and in the process of a federal case, they're polite, they're human beings, and they treat the public as human beings. But in any of the district courts or Supreme Courts, you're treated like a lowly person. Go get a lawyer. The grievance committee stinks. 98% of the cases before the grievance committee are dismissed without a reason. It's all conducted in secrecy. All the lawyers yell, Civilian Review Board of the Police Department. How about Civilian Review Board of the court system? How about Civilian Review Board of the Grievance Committee? How about Civilian Review Board of the judicial system? We know the Commission on Judicial Conduct does not work. In 20 years, how many people have been sanctioned? How many people have been dismissed? It's a disgrace, and you're part of it. A bar association here, the past president of this bar association, in sworn testimony and affidavits to the court, has lied. What is he doing? He's still practicing. It should be grounds for dismissal. A. Craig Purcell is a disgrace to this bar association. He physically attacked us in order to shut us up. They can't stand to have criticism. You can't stand to have criticism. You can only have people up here and speak with the cameras that agree with you. Before you proceed with this idea of consolidating the courtrooms and the axe to grind and perhaps destroying the entire system, why not test market your system in small areas? I don't think any of you have any idea what you're doing. And to do this consolidation, put it all together and destroy a system that doesn't work even further would be a disgrace, and it's on your conscience.
Milton Navarez. Here, Jeff Sherr.
Thomas Jefferson once said, the government controls the people, we have tyranny. When the people control the government, we have democracy. What we have is the former, not the latter. Because the truth of the matter is, we had a situation just this past election where Mr. Bruno, Mr. Silva went to their friends at the teachers union, their friends at the New York State trial lawyers, put up millions of dollars to defeat plumbers may be having $40 an hour, lawyers unfortunately aren't, because that's that arrogance, because they think that the profession is that great, and of course we all have attorneys up here. But let me go down to the system, and I might add, some of the Seligman at least has been looking into some of these issues, particularly the time I met with him in Albany, has given at least lip service to the needed changes. Let me go into the grievance procedures. The grievance, I'm not trying to curry favor, trust me. The grievance procedures in New York State are a disgrace. We need to look into, and I'm sure that nobody has because you're not interested in it. The procedure they have in Oregon, they've had it for 20 years. One of our friends in the legal profession was writing a book about it, went out there and spent a month. Everything is open from day one. You know what? Nothing happens in Oregon. It's not a terrible thing. Everything is open. And I said, Senator, why can't you protect escrow accounts? Why can't you do something as easy as that? And if you need 6 signatures or 10 signatures, why can't you protect them? He took a deep breath and didn't have an answer for me. And I have to respect Senator. I have to respect him. And I asked the same question of Tom Ginapoli. And I'm going to continue to ask these questions because this is very relevant. Why can't you people protect escrow accounts? It's a disgrace. And need to put some influence on make sure that the lawyer-client protection fund is fully funded. Let it come out of the pockets of the lawyers when their friends are stealing. It's a disgrace. Absolutely total disgrace of what you people have allowed to happen with escrow accounts. You can't read Newsday. Every single week there's another lawyer who was indicted for that particular reason. It was mentioned before, but I'm going to mention it again because it's part and parcel. I sent the information to Judge Kay. Hopefully at some point, and by the way, I have to say, she's doing a remarkable job, a terrific job. Send the information. Kiosks in the courtroom so somebody can do their own divorce papers. Somebody can do their own wills. Somebody can do whatever they need to do by themselves. This business about thinking that lawyers can do everything is absolute, total nonsense. Absolute, total nonsense. But we want to keep doing it. That's why you got signs up in all the court where the clerks are. Oh, we cannot give you legal advice. Why? It's the test. They were talking about the bar on the corner. That's what they were talking about. You got 25% of the lawyers, Newsday figures, not Harvey Cash figures, that can't pass the bar, so they're drunk. But you let them go into the court without going through the metal detector. That's so the peasants have to go through the metal detector. That's how we can tell when we're doing our demonstrations in front of the courthouses who the crooks are and who the honest people are. We have a situation where a lawyer who's convicted of a felony is allowed, after I think it's 6 years, to go back and practice law again. Which means that Saul Watt will be right there standing up there to get his license back. That's a disgrace. A person who is trained in the law should be disbarred for life. But it doesn't happen because there's always exclusions for these people. Disbar these lawyers who are convicted of a felony, not a misdemeanor, a felony, disbarred for life. But Saul will be back shortly. By the way, I come from North Hempstead. I've been in Great Neck for over 30 years. I know Saul Watt. Okay? Personally, know him. So I'm not here to just throw stones. Why we have this veil of secrecy is unbelievable. Why can't litigants go in and listen to what's going on at the conferences? Not to talk, but if they want to do it. A lot of litigants don't want to do it. Why do we have this secrecy? The lawyers go in, the judges go in, they all kick their shoes off, and it's another hour, another $400, $600, whatever it happens to be. Why can't that be open? It's the litigant's life that's involved. Why can't we simply have a mandatory contract, but you people are not doing it? Why? Because the biggest contributors to the legislature in the state of New York are the New York State Trial Lawyers Association. We need to end the biggest boondoggle around, which is contingency. We need to end that because that's what's funding a lot of stuff. You take a look at the name on the door at Simon. You go to Simon and Simon, I guarantee they got 15 TV. You see, if you had an accident, you call so-and-so, you call so-and-so. Why are they spending all these millions of dollars? Because it's very lucrative business. You just keep putting the cases away, file a few papers, and wait for the insurance company to pay you. That's what that's all about. Now, one of the biggest disgraces you people have given to us is cameras in a courtroom. I watched Chief Judge Hay the other morning, on Sunday morning, she was on Channel 2, and she said she can't believe that we've gone away from cameras in a courtroom. What are you people afraid of? Why are the lawyers so afraid of it? Why are the judges afraid of it? We need to see what's going on. This is America. This is America. We need to open the system up, not close it down. We need cameras in the courtroom. You don't have to have it broadcast on court TV 2 weeks later. It doesn't make any difference. That camera is not intrusive. That's nonsense and baloney. And that's what they promulgate. And if you don't want to do it in criminal cases, that's fine. I'll accept that for the moment. Do it in civil cases. What's so terrible? Who's going to be hurt? There's a reason for it. You don't want the public to see what is going on and what you...
Is it? I don't know if it's playing.
They're not plays. Assemblywoman Weinstein was at a hearing which was chaired by Oliver Coppell at that time, who was the chairperson of that committee. Mr. Fales and Mr. Lieberman of the New York State, of the New York City Grievance Committee lied. Said they lied in testimony, that they sent out letters to people and lied about it. Nothing has happened to those people. They're still in there. Those are public officials who lied. Said it right there. We have the transcripts of that hearing. We need to change the system, and we're going to do is RICO lawsuits, because this is a massive conspiracy on the part of the whole of people, and the good guys are not. That's the problem. That's what needs to be changed. And you folks don't want to schedule a meeting with your organization and let's talk about it. You don't want to hear it. At least I have to say this. Let me commend this. I know who you are anyway. But when I went to the hearing in New York City at the Bar Association, they were so cowardly. They wouldn't even put their name. We're having a hearing on the Commission on Judicial Conduct. I think you ought to talk to the Bar Association in New York City about how cowardly they were, because they were so frightened and so scared. I'm not scared because I know what's going to happen. They're going to try and kill me. They will. They will try and kill you. And let me send a warning out. My uncle was Meyer Lansky. My cousin was Louis Lefty Buckwell. So if you come to get me, you better succeed, because if you fail, you got a major problem. I thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, let's take a vote. This is Helene Weinstein. We waited 4 hours. We waited all day to speak, and then she told us we couldn't. This is James Lack. We waited all day to speak, and then he told us we couldn't. Boo on James Lack. Boo on Helene Weinstein. And they didn't publicize this well enough. They didn't tell the public about this. You know, who knew about it? Lawyers knew about it. But where did the public know about it? That's a staff member of Helene Weinstein, I believe. Here are other staff members of hers. What time is it, please? 3:20. 3:20. concert at the Church of the Highlands. Franklin was singing in it, and I couldn't show you a picture of him. He was hidden by everybody else, but he was in the back row of the tenors, and he enjoyed singing in it very much. And that was yesterday afternoon, Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, Sunday. Pearl Harbor Day, Sunday. I was in junior high school. I remember when FDR came on the radio and announced infamy. Now, I want to go back to that, you saw Harvey Cash speaking, and then you saw that terrible man, James Lack, stop the hearings at 3:20 p.m. I had sat there all day. I got there, I left for it at 10 o'clock. I left Hicksville at 10 o'clock. I got to Hop Hog at 10:30 at the Suffolk County Bar Association to speak, to petition my government for redress of wrong. That's my constitutional right, First Amendment. And I stayed there all day long waiting to speak. And when it was time for me to speak, this bum, Lack, cut everybody off. Al Cooley didn't get a chance to speak. Julia Gambino didn't get a chance to speak. And that is wrong. How would you like it for the new lawsuit? Glendora versus Helene Weinstein, Assemblywoman, State Legislature of New York, and James Lack, Senator, State Legislature of New York. How would you like that nice new lawsuit, Weinstein and Lack? That's an outrageous thing to do. All of the people who spoke were very, very good. The pro se's were very, very good. And they're just little citizens like you who went to the court for justice. And what did they get? Yeah. The usual. Now, I would have told about Bruiser Ken beating up two old people, about Uniondale Courthouse being so stupid as not to give people receipts for the property they take. I would have told them how they lied, and how the FBI lied, and how 511 times. I would have told them that all over a tape recorder. You tell me, folks, how a tape recorder is a threat to a judge. A gun is a threat to a tape recorder, a threat to a judge. And why aren't people allowed to take their tape recorders into the courtroom and to make their own record and to have it instantaneously, instead of waiting around for a rip-off court stenographer to give you minutes in 30 days, charge you $6, $5 for a page that's half empty? I would have told at election time how the judges are nothing but political creatures with all of their... And I would have told them about the Sassower case and the dirty politics and their vengeance upon Sassower. I would have told them about the self-interest. That's all those judges were there for. You didn't hear them speak. But what did they want? They wanted more money. The lawyers wanted more money for being legal aid lawyers. They only get $40,000. Now, isn't that terrible? They only get $45 an hour. And now they want $70 an hour. Where do you go when judges break the law? That up until now, nobody had mentioned the crooked lawyers and the corrupt judges. Infradig, beneath the dignity, to go into a courthouse and be frisked. And they don't have female Pinkertons frisking female patrons of the courthouse. Male Pinkertons are frisking female patrons of the courthouse. And that the problem is that we don't need more judges. What we need is judges of moral character, judges of honor, judges of honesty. That the IFP in the state system is terrible. The state goes around and wastes our taxpayer money left and right. But when a poor person wants to petition his government for redress of wrong, he can't get a poor person relief. Relief from paying the fees, waiver of the fees. So therefore, that poor person's due process is denied. Fifth Amendment, 14th Amendment, equal protection of the law. First Amendment, the right to petition one's government for redress of wrong. About how the law clerks run the show because the judges don't know the law, and they're overly dependent upon the law clerks to look up the law for them. And all a judge does is just put in the digit of the month, like if it's today, December 8th, Pearl Harbor Day, Pearl Harbor Monday, he puts in an 8 in his name. That's all a judge does. And we pay the law clerks to do the work. And the law clerks make the decisions. The judges are paid $130,000 a year in the federal courts and $123,000, I think, in the state courts to make decisions. Who makes the decisions? The law clerks. Here is the flyer, and they didn't publicize this enough to the public. You certainly would have liked to have been out there and stood up for what is right. But here's what they did. This is what they sent out. And I'm going to read you the court reforms. I am infuriated with James Slack after I stayed around all day long to speak, and he cuts off the conference. Boo! New York State Senate and Assembly Standing Committee on Judiciary, Notice of Public Hearing, New York City, Thursday, October 7th. I never heard of this. If a friend hadn't told me about it, I wouldn't have known about it. Buffalo, Tuesday, December 10th. Hauppauge, Tuesday, December 2nd. Albany, Tuesday, January 21. December 10th is Wednesday. And they had 18 inches and 6 more inches of snow. Subjects: New York court structure, judicial reform, boy do we need it, and access to justice. In order to improve the functioning of the New York judicial system and increase the ability of the court system to address and resolve legal issues effectively, Chief Judge Judith Kaye has proposed a constitutional amendment to restructure New York's court system. This proposal has been introduced in the Senate as Senate Bill 4226. This proposed constitutional amendment would make the following major changes to the present court system. Well, they don't tell us if it's the Constitution of the State of New York or the Constitution of the United States of America. Merge New York's 9 major trial courts into 2 courts, a Supreme Court which would include the current Supreme Court, Court of Claims, Surrogates Court, County Court, and Family Court. I'm all for that. I am all for that. And a district court, which would include the current district court, New York City Civil and Criminal Court, and the upstate city courts. Not bad. Authorize the creation of a 5th appellate department. No way. The reason the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th appellate departments are loaded up is that we have such miserable Supreme Court justices. If we had good people who were Supreme Court justices, we wouldn't need all this appellate division with 10,000 cases a year. We wouldn't need that. What we need is good judges, good people to be judges, not politicians. Eliminate the constitutional limit of 1 Supreme Court justice for each 50,000 people in a judicial district. That's really all you need. We don't need more judges. We need judges who enforce the law. Maybe these lawbreakers could get a message that if you fool around with the law, you're going to get your medicine. You're going to have to take your medicine. You're going to get punishment. Maybe these lawyers would get the message. If you can't be honest and forthright, you're going to have to take it. That's what we need. We need judges who enforce the law. First, then they might get the idea. Create a number of new judges in New York City. No. Boo. Based on certification of need by the Office of Court Administration in the year 2000. It all goes back to what I said to you originally. What we need is good judges. What we need is to get rid of crooked judges. What we need is to get rid of corrupt lawyers. In addition, the Senate has passed legislation increasing the number of judges of New York State to meet OCA, Office of Court Administration, certified needs, opening judicial disciplinary hearings and creating a fifth department. No to a fifth department, for the reasons I told you. And no, oh yes, 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 opening judicial disciplinary hearings. A judge should go before the public, just the way if you're arrested, you go before the public, anybody can come to your trial. But if anybody complains about a judge, shh,